Both players appear well prepared for this French defense advance variation Paulsen attack in French Top 16 Club Championship 2025 a pool round 3, leading to an exciting battle ahead. On e4. On e6. On d4. On d5. On e5. On c5. On c3. Knight c6 transposed into French defense advance variation Paulsen attack. Knight f3. Knight ge7. Knight a3. Bishop d7. Knight c2. Queen a5. Bishop d2. Queen b6. Bishop d3. Threatening pawn takes c5. Pawn c4 played by Nicolantonio. Threatening pawn takes d3. Bishop e2 played by Mamedov. Mamedov might go for pawn b3. Queen c7. Pawn takes c4 and seize the initiative. Pawn f6 played by Nicolantonio. Pawn takes f6. Pawn takes f6. Pawn b3. Pawn takes b3. Pawn takes b3. Bishop g7. On h4 it is novelty move. On h5. On c4. Knight f5. Bishop d3. Knight ce7. King castled kingside. Mamedov considers playing Knight e3. Knight takes e3. Bishop takes e3. Pawn a6. Bishop f4. King f7. Pawn c5. Queen d8. Rook e1 and increase their advantage significantly. King castled kingside played by Nicolantonio. Bishop a5. Threatening bishop takes b6. Queen c6 played by Nicolantonio. Rook e1. Rook f7. Bishop b4. Mamedov intends to play Knight h2. Bishop f8. Queen takes h5. Pawn takes c4. Pawn takes c4 and dominate the board. Bishop h6 played by Nicolantonio. Knight h2. Threatening queen takes h5. Pawn takes c4 played by Nicolantonio. Pawn takes c4. Rook g7. Threatening queen takes g2 mate. Knight f3 played by Mamedov. King h8. On d5. Mamedov considers playing pawn takes c6. Pawn takes c6. Bishop takes e7. Knight takes e7. Pawn g3. Bishop f4. Rook a5. Pawn e5. King h1 and seize the initiative. Queen c7 played by Nicolantonio. Bishop f1. Queen f4. Bishop d2. Threatening bishop takes f4. Queen g4 played by Nicolantonio. Bishop takes h6. Knight takes h6. Knight e3. Threatening knight takes g4. Queen f4 played by Nicolantonio. Pawn takes e6. Bishop takes e6. Knight d5. Threatening knight takes f4. Knight takes d5 played by Nicolantonio. Rook takes e6. Knight b4 time to think find the best continuation for Mamedov. Rook a5 is a strong choice, since Rook g6, Rook g5, Rook a g8, Rook takes g6, Rook takes g6. Knight e5 Mamedov have small advantage. Let's analyze the main game. Knight b4. Queen d2 slightly worse move played by Mamedov. Threatening queen takes f4. Queen takes d2 played by Nicolantonio. Knight takes d2. Knight g8. Knight e4. Threatening knight takes f6. Knight c6 played by Nicolantonio. Rook d6. Mamedov is aiming to play knight takes f6, Rook g6, Knight e4, and increase their advantage significantly. Rook f7 played by Nicolantonio. On f3, Mamedov is looking to play Knight g3. On a5, Rook a4, Knight ge7. On c5, and secure a stronghold in the game. On a5 played by Nicolantonio. On c5, Knight e5, Rook b6. Mamedov considers playing Rook a4, Rook c7, Rook b5, King g7, Rook takes a5, Rook takes a5, Rook takes a5, and increase their advantage significantly. Rook c7 played by Nicolantonio. Bishop b5. Mamedov is aiming to play Bishop a4, Knight d7, Rook b5, Knight e7, Rook e1, Knight d5, Rook d1, and secure a stronghold in the game. King g7 played by Nicolantonio. Knight d6. Mamedov is planning to play Knight e8 check. Rook takes e8. Bishop takes e8, and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook takes c5 played by Nicolantonio. Rook takes b7 check. King h6. On f4. Mamedov is aiming to play on takes e5. Rook takes b5. Rook takes b5, and gain a significant edge. Knight c6 played by Nicolantonio. Knight e4. Threatening knight takes c5. Rook takes b5 played by Nicolantonio. Rook takes b5. Knight d4. Threatening knight takes b5. Rook takes a5 played by Mamedov. Knight e2 check. King f2. Threatening rook takes a8. Rook takes a5 played by Nicolantonio. Rook takes a5. Knight takes f4. Rook a8. Mamedov's idea is to play Rook takes g8. Knight d3 check. King f1. On f5. Knight c3. Knight e5. King e2. Knight c6. King f2. Knight e5, and dominate the board. King g7 played by Nicolantonio. Knight g3. Mamedov is preparing to play King f3. Knight g6. Knight takes h5 check, and gain a significant edge. Knight e7 played by Nicolantonio. King f3. Nicolantonio fought hard but ultimately had to concede defeat.